It's national meets regional. Welcome to Sidewalks Entertainment, the long-running celebrity, music, and art series. Join us now for an exciting new path to celebrity interviews, music, rising talents, much, much more.
Welcome to America Says!
It's the exciting new game of fill-in-the-blank fun.
Is B for baking? Bah!
With a bring-on-the-laughs host.
When I think about baseball, I think about
Sammy Davis Jr.
Sammy Davis, of course, great baseball player. He'd slide into home plate and tap dance on it. Are you ready for this?
We're ready. Yeah.
John Michael Higgins hosts America Says.
Our next guest is the man who has done it all. Let's welcome to our show today, Mr. John Michael Higgins. Hello.
Hi, Sonia. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm great. It couldn't be better.
Great. Well, congratulations. You are the host of America Says on the Game Show Network. It's wonderful.
Thank you. I'm having a blast. I never saw this coming, you know, that I'd be a game show host, but it turns out to be a good fit for me. Who knew? I don't know.
Yes, yes. Well, I'd love to talk to you about that in a little while, but first I've got to take a trip down memory lane with you. I hope you don't mind.
Not at all.
Let's go back to 1996. I've got to mention this mockumentary that you did, The Late Shift, where you portrayed Mr. David Letterman.
Yes.
Ring a bell?
Yes, I remember it well.
Great. Well, I've got to say, my gosh, was that ever a stellar performance?
Oh, I really appreciate it. It was tough because, you know, I was a stage actor. I'd played famous people before, but most of them had been dead for 100 years, you know, Teddy Roosevelt or something like that. But to play a famous person who was alive and well and like 2 channels over on the television set, that was tricky because everybody's an expert on David Letterman. They watched him every day. And, you know, I could make up how Teddy Roosevelt walked and no one would bust me for it. But, boy, if I didn't get it just right on Letterman, they knew. And that was hard. So.
Yeah. So how did you get it right? I mean, were you friends with Dave?
We had met a few times, but not enough for me to do a credible, you know, impersonation of him. I think I had talked to several people who had worked with him and sort of got his vibe, right? You know, because he has like all of us, a on-screen persona and an off-screen one. Yeah. So I had to get them both, and it was tricky. But you know,
well, did he ever ask you about that? Did he ever comment on that performance?
Well, no, I don't think he wasn't very happy with the movie. I think mostly because it dealt a little bit with his personal life, and he was a very private man, remains one. So I think he was he wasn't thrilled that they were doing the movie at HBO, but yeah.
Well, that's too bad. Well, it was a great story, and you did such a good job, I have to say. So there, moving on. That was the 90s. Yeah. You've done far, far, far more since then. You've been in so many wonderful films, some of my favorite television shows of all time.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. What's that all been like? I mean, you've worked with Jim Carrey and you've been on Seinfeld, you know, for goodness sake. These are amazing, incredible performers such as yourself. I mean, how was that, all of that for you? What did you learn from all of those experiences?
Well, yeah, you know, I have been very lucky to be on some projects that really have stood the test of time, you know, certain movies or television things that I've done. People still enjoy or talk about. And, you know, it's funny because when you do them, when I did them, you never know. Yeah, I didn't know. I guess when I did Seinfeld, it was pretty late in the game over there. I was like in their last season. So it was a big hit television show. But even back then, you didn't understand what its impact and lasting power was, you know. So you can't guess stuff like that. You just do the best job you can on the day and hope that it's good work. But to work with good people, you know, like Jim, Carrey, and others, the Seinfeld people, you know, it's like playing tennis. It just raises your own game, and you just end up being more talented and more interesting than you actually are. So.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So that's
it's like a game of tennis, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, I mean, so you've been in Broadway, you've done musical scores, you're working on Pitch Perfect, that film, recently 1 and 2. can you tell me a little bit about when all of this started for you? When did you get the acting, singing, performing bug?
Well, I was a child actor, but I was a stage actor, starting at about 9 years old, meaning it's the first time someone paid me to act. And I was a stage person for the first third of my career, maybe more, and that involved moving to New York, doing all the regional theaters. I was mostly a dramatic stage actor of Shakespeare and classics and stuff like that. So it's very odd to find myself, turning into just a comic actor, which is what happened when I got to Hollywood. And then now, here we are on roads, and they lead in the strangest directions often. And if you had told me in my 20s that I was going to be just a comic actor, I would have laughed in your face. I was like, but I'm not one. I'm a dramatic actor, you know. And then I'm not. And then for 20 years in Hollywood, I do nothing but comedy. So, you know, now I'm doing a game show. You know, you can't guess, you know, what's going to happen.
You never know.
Yeah.
And I mean, as an actor, you know, you're a blank canvas. So whether it's drama or comedy or horror, I mean, you just sort of fit the mold, right?
Sure, you know, and I actually don't make a huge distinction between dramatic and comedic acting. Acting is the same thing all the time. It's like you just tell a story, you know, you just get in there and your character wants something and there's a problem. That's it. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything else. You just play the problem. And whether it's comic or tragic is up to the audience, frankly, and the context. So, but my job is always the same. Want something and have a problem, you know. It's very simple. And in a game show, it's to some extent the same thing. But it's up to the contestants, interestingly. I'm just guiding, I'm just sort of steering the boat, but the contestants are the ones with the problem. And they're the one who wants something. They want that 15 grand at the end of the show, and they got some serious impediments put in front of them by me. So that's it's been really fun. It's been great, actually.
Yeah, we really look forward to seeing you. Can you give us a really quick tidbit about, you know, what the show's about and how it came to you?
Sure. The show's a survey game show, meaning we'll ask in a survey the American public in some form or another, you know, a fill-in-the-blank question, and then our contestants have a very short period of time, too short a period of time, to try to come up with all the answers that we got on our survey. And so it kind of has elements of Family Feud. It has elements of Match Game, which is a fill-in-the-blank show. So you'll see echoes of those other shows in our show. But it's very much its own thing, our show. It has its own kind of atmosphere and timing. And it's very enlivening. It's very fast-paced. It's very funny. And because the people are under pressure and they say the most ridiculous things, and they want that money, so they're trying hard, and we don't let them skip. You know, if the K shows up, they got to say something. They can't just move on to the easier letter. So it really is fun, and it came to me just I don't know why they called me up. They thought I'd be a good game show host. I hope I am.
Amazing. Well, and you know what? From what I see so far, you're great. You're wonderful. The show looks like a lot of fun. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We look forward to watching you. Mr. John Michael Higgins, everyone.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for being on the show.
Sure.
For more full-length celebrity interviews, visit sidewalkstv.com.